Hello and welcome to the channel where we dish out architecture related content. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to create the minimalistic coffee table you are seeing on your screen. Without wasting any of your time, let's jump straight into Revit and get started.
Alright, so in Revit, so the first thing we need to do is to open to create a new family. We're not creating a model, so we'll click on family and then we'll look for a template. You can use the imperials if you do understand how to use the imperial discipline, but of course I am using metric, so I'll go back and then I'm going to use English alone, and I'm going to scroll down to find the template I want to use for this particular project, for this particular modeling. So I'm going to use the metric furniture RFT, then I'm going to open it. So once it's open, the first thing I always do is to make sure that I import the image I want into Revit. So I'm in my ref level or in full reference level, and these are the ref planes. So I want to just import the picture and then place it in where I'm going to be seeing what I'm modeling. So I'm going to go to create inserts, and I'm going to import image. This message will probably pop up. Just hit close and then just locate the image. Sometimes this is might be in bitmap files and the rest of them. Just make sure this is in all images. Then I want to go and just quickly locate where the picture is. So once I've done that, the next thing I need to do is to just place it here, and this is the image we're looking at. So we'll just crop this a little bit and then bring it closer to our reference planes. Okay, so this is in our reference plane. I'm going to click this. I'm going to Ctrl C in my keyboard, which is copy. Then I'm going to go to the front. Then I'm going to Ctrl V, which is paste. I just love working with this. That's my front view and my reference level. So I'll go back to the ref level, and then one thing I always say, especially if this is your first time or your few times creating Revit components or families from scratch, is that you don't pay attention to all the details at the same time. So you try as much as possible to split them into little tiny details, and then before you know it, you will have worked all over all of them. So the first one I'm going to be starting with is going to be this main one, because this actually looks much bigger than the other one. Let me show you what I mean. So the two of them are marble tops, but this is black marble top. This is a bit it's not as black as this, so this is kind of ash, or it has more white, but this has more of black. So but they are both marble tops. So this particular one is bigger than this, so we'll just model this first before this. But one thing we'll need to do before we do that is to always model the base. We need the base first, then before we do that. So to do that, this line is going to act as our division line. That's this particular ref plane that is highlighted in blue is going to act as kind of a middle line between these two of them. Alright, so we'll go to create, we'll go to extrusion, and then I just want to use this square, and then just draw a normal square as its base for now. So let's confirm our dimensions. This is 800 mm, and then this is 660 mm. 800 is quite big for what I want, so let me just leave this at a healthy 500 mm. Sorry, 600 seems okay. I don't want it to be too long, and then 600 by 600, it's looking like a square to me. It's looking more of like a square, so 600 by 600 mm is okay. Then I'm just going to move this, and then I'm going to move it up a little bit so I can have it centralized, kind of. Okay, that's for the base of this particular one. I'm going to finish this. So let me create the base of this other one. There is a little bit of a gap between them, so I'm still going to go to extrusion. I'm going to still use this. Let me just do something. I'm using the pick lines to pick out the edges of the first one I created. I'm going to highlight all of them, and then I'm going to upscale it a little bit, and I'm going to move it out here. Okay, now always remember to come to your picture. This seems a little bit recessed than this, so they're not like in the same line, so I'm going to try and do that. Okay, sorry, it seems I flipped these two, don't worry. So I'm going to highlight all of them, the two of them, then I'm going to just mirror them back, then I'm going to uncheck copy. Yeah, this is what I want. Then I just want to centralize the ref plane and make sure it is centralized. So this is our base, the base of the two marbles. So one thing you will need to always determine is the height. So if we go to our front, you will see that they are in the same height, so we don't want that. So this is 250 above the ground, but this particular one at the back, it's higher than this particular one, so we're going to just do that. Do we want this to be at 250 above the ground? Let me just use 300. Sorry, Ctrl Z. You don't do that with extrusions. You click on this, then you come to this extrusion end in your property browser, and then you change that to 300. So it just goes up a little bit. So since this is 300, we'll take this one up more than 300. So we still need to come back to that at the end of the day. So one thing we need to do is go to our reference level again. This time around we are going to still use extrusion, and then we are going to be using the pick lines, and then we'll offset to get the marble top. Now we'll offset, let's offset by 100 mm, because this is really projecting. Okay, so it means we still need to shift this a little bit backward. Okay, so this is what we want to finish. We'll disassociate it from work plane, and then we are going to move it up right here. Then we are going to bring it down. The thickness is way big. This is thick, but this is the one we have here is 250 mm thick. That's too much, so let's use 150 for that. Alright, so let's dimension. Total height from here to the ground is 450. That's okay. Alright, we'll go 450 initially from ground to here. Let me just add 50 mm more to that. So I'm going to take this to 500 and then meet this up right here. Okay, so that's that. For this particular one, we're just going to move it, go to the reference level, because in our picture it seems this touches the other part of this to terminate, so we'll just move this just a little bit. Alright, so if we go to our front elevation, this is what we have. So we'll go to the ref level again, extrusion, we'll use pick lines, and then we'll offset again by 100 mm like we did initially, and then we'll just pick the edges. We'll use trim, TR is the shortcut for trim. We'll finish this. We'll go to the front, we disassociate from one plane, we'll click on it, and then we use the move tool to move this up. This is 150 mm thick, so we just want this one also to be 150 mm thick. Sorry. Alright, so there is a little bit of a conflict here which doesn't exist here. So we'll use the move tool to solve that. Okay. Alright, so we'll see dimension. I love leaving these dimensions in one of the views because it might really just help someone else that is using this particular family to be able to see what was already done, and then the person can easily do and edit whatever he or she wants to edit in it. Alright, so if we go to our ref level, it means the total width this table is going to take is 1740 mm. That's really big. So if we go to our 3D view, you can see what we have been able to model. So this is what we have been able to create from the picture we are working with. So this is okay. To better appreciate this very well, we'll hit SD in your keyboard, which is shaded, or you can also use textures as well, but let's just go with shaded. Okay, so first thing, the next thing we need to do is to apply materials to this SD, and then we'll go back to our image to make sure we're not leaving anything behind. We're not actually. Okay, someone might argue that this is a bit inside, and then you might want it inside so you can keep your glass cups and all that. You can still do that if you want. So let me just show you what you do. So you click on this particular one because that's where this is located at. We'll go to the reference level to see it. So it's somewhere around here that stuff is located. We'll go to create, we'll go to void forms. Under void forms, we'll click the drop down icon, and then you click void extrusion, then go ahead and draw what you want to draw. So let's say it's a square. So it has a gap from here to here, so we have a very generous gap from the top. So something around 140 mm should be able to do, and it's not this big, so this can work actually. So we might also decide to bring it out a little bit. So if we finish this and you go to your 3D view, you're not going to see it because it's way down. So this is what we'll do. We'll go to our ref level, click on this, come to this, and then we pick a new plane, and then we are going to pick this particular top here. So we'll highlight everything here, and then we are going to filter, check none, and then only check void, and then okay. Then this is here, but you're not seeing it, but it is already here. So one thing we need to do is to also highlight it, highlight everything, filter, uncheck furniture, apply, okay. So you can see it here. Now we'll go to cut, we'll click on the top of, and then we'll click on what we want to cut. Oh sorry, it's not coming up. The void we created is not coming up. Check furniture, apply, click OK, click on, go to your front, and then you can see it here. It is actually coming up. Disassociate from work plane, and then go to the 3D view. Okay, so what we need to do is to go to our reference line, our ref level, click on cuts, click on the base, that's the tick marble, and then we'll click on the cuts, the void we created earlier. If we go to our 3D view, you can now see it's right here. So this is it. Is that exactly what we have? Let's check the picture. Something like it. But I think ours is. So there's this stuff I noticed. I don't know if you guys noticed it here. There's this kind of like to show it has a depth, and it makes it look much nicer here. So we'll do that too. So this is what we'll do. We'll create we'll create something that will run around this. So we'll go to the ref level again, click on this sweep, and then we're going to sketch a path. We're going to use the pick lines, and then we'll just pick this part right here. We'll finish this, and then we edit profile. It's going to ask us to do this in any of this. Let's do it in the left. The profile is really down because we did it in the reference level, so we'll just don't want to do something really high, just something very small. Let's dimension this. This is 5. Alright, we'll just finish this, and then we are going to disassociate this from work plane so it becomes easy for us to move up, and then we can now move using the move tool, and then we move this up. If we go to our 3D view, you can see something of that nature. Do they have nothing? Okay, so if we go to our own 3D view, we have created something of that nature. I want to edit the profile a little bit, so I'm going to still go to the left, select profile, edit profile. So let me just make this a little bit bigger. I don't want to make it so glorious, but I just want to make it much more visible. Okay, so I think I like this one. So in the image, it didn't go all the way down because all these glass cups and the whiskey, they are hanging on it. But in the one we've created, you can see it looks like it went all the way down. So we're going to click on our void. We're going to bring it up a little bit. Okay, so we can actually place anything we want to place here. It mustn't be the whiskey. We can place our cell phones or whatever we want to place right into this place. Alright, so we'll just apply materials to this. So we'll click on this, and then it's always in by category. You go to the materials. This default, I always like renaming it. So I'm going to duplicate material and assets, and I'm going to call this marble 1. Then there is no marble here, so I'm going to open the assets browser, and then I'm going to type in marble. So I allow the asset browser to look for what I want. So they are just basically this type of marbles right here. So this is, I'll just import this into the project, close this up, and then you can see if you have better marble materials, you can also use that. So I'm just going to go to the graphics, make sure I check on use render appearance, go to the identity. It's already in marble. It's already in miscellaneous, which is what I want as well. Then here I can type in key stuffs I want here. If I want it to be reflective, you can also add other things such as the physical. You can add a whole lot of other things you want, but we're not doing that in this part of the tutorial. So we'll just click on that. We've already applied a marble material to this because this part is much lighter than this one. So if we go to our 3D view, you can see that. Let's change this to textures so you can see this, but we've not applied any material to this. So we'll go and do that as well. We'll click on this. I can duplicate this particular marble, and then I can call this one marble 2. Then I'll go to the graphics, the appearance. I can change this particular one, so I can look for a better marble that I have, that is in your maths, in your Revit. So there are actually so many stones you can choose from. We're looking for something really dark that looks like more of a marble. Oh, these are white stones. Let me do this again. So these are marbles. So I just used one. I'm going to apply, click OK, and then you can see the marble material. I'm looking at something. This particular place has a different material. This is like black on its own, but ours is not that way. So what we need to do, we can use PT, which is a shortcut for paint, and then paint out some parts we do not want, or bring in a new material. So this is what I want to do. I'm going to click on this particular one, that is the sweep we created earlier, and then I will edit it, since in our picture they have the same material. So sorry, then I'm going to go to the material, and then in the default I'll just click on it, duplicate it, and then I'll just call this black. Yeah, just that. Then I'll come to this, use render appearance, go to the appearance, change the color, and then bring it to really black, and I'm going to apply all this. So I can now click on PT, then I will have black here, then I can now paint this out, the base as well, this as well. And then this as well. Alright, so we'll go to our front elevation. This is ash in color. We might just leave them this way, but let's just give them a material. So if we go to our front, we can change this to textures actually, so we can see they have the same, it's the same color we want from what we have here, but it's just a little bit darker. So we'll just go to this, use the same black, duplicate, and call this ash. We'll enter, then we'll go to the color, and then we'll just bring this out a little bit. We'll click on OK, apply, OK. So we have the same, we have ash here. I'll just click this, Ctrl C in my keyboard, select this one as well, delete this, Ctrl V to paste the same ash material. So there you have it. So we I might be thinking this is really black, the black might be too black. Okay, so this is much better. So I hope you followed along through the whole modeling process and all that. So this is just how you can create the marble top, the simple marble top tables you in Revit, and then you can use this for all the projects. Remember, you have your dimensions right here. You can decide to change this back to hidden line, and you can also go to your reference level and do a little bit of a dimension, so that it's going to be easy for you to adjust them if need be for any other different projects, because they might not work, this might not work in all your projects. So I hope the tutorial was very helpful. Please do click the subscribe button if this is your first time in our channel. If it's not your first time, thank you for watching. We hope you liked the video. Leave a comment, leave your questions behind. We'll get back to you as quickly as we can. Thank you very much for watching. It really means a lot to us. See you all in the next video. Peace.